Woo! Hello, everybody out there in Facebook land, TikTok world, everywhere. There's going to be a clip of this, a live version, or whatever else is going on with it. Welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson. Hopefully, you all are having a great time out there. And if not, I'm sorry. Did you all survive Easter? Hunting of the Easter eggs and passing out baskets and all that good stuff. Because that's all Easter has become anyway. So, that's just how it goes. Well, hopefully, you all had a great time out there. Am I out there live? I believe I am, yes. All right. So, as today's title shows, AI sucks. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And I know we talk about AI a lot, apparently, on this show, um, because more and more people are delving into that fact of, AI generated bullshit on a regular basis. And it's not cool, it's not fun, and I don't really like that one at all. Do I like that one better? I don't know. I'm just playing with some sounds to see what I sound like with the whole aspect of it all. I think that one's not bad. So, welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson. And yesterday was Easter. We didn't talk a whole lot about it, but all of my artwork turned into Playboy bunnies, basically. It was kind of weird as cosplayers and other people turned into Playboy bunnies as well. And it was kind of weird to see it all. And it always happens every year, so it's not really weird to see it all. When it does happen, just because everybody throws on the bunny ears and the bunny outfits and all that stuff, especially if they're a cosplayer and things of that nature. Now you get the people that like to jump into the bunny suits. That's a whole different topic all about itself in furry land, all that good stuff. And if you're a furry, nothing against you. Some people just don't like furries, period. And I get that. Just like a lot of people don't like generated AI. And then you've got the other side that love it and want to use more of it. So, what have you guys been up to? What have you guys done? Anything cool, exciting? And I'm going to show you an example of AI that I just pulled out just the other day. That is, why AI generated artwork should not be allowed, period. And we'll get into that in a moment. But how are you all doing? Seriously, it is bright and early on what is today? Monday morning on the 6th of April. So we're 6 days into April. And how many of you believe we're going to the moon again? And it's not going to the moon. We're actually going on a trip around the moon. So a lot of people don't even think this trip is real yet again. So, back in the 60s, we supposedly went to the moon. Supposedly. And then all the technology of how we got there up and disappeared. And now we're, you know, X amount of years later and on our way back with a 4-man crew going to the moon. Fly me to the moon. All that good stuff. So how are you guys? Seriously. All of you that are stopping in, checking out the channel. I need to change my artwork back there. It's been on there a couple times too long. Change it up. Put some of my unfinished stuff up there. That'll be cool. That'll be cool. So I'm in a lot of art groups on Facebook and other places, TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that. And they talk a lot about the use of AI. And even, um, oh, I was going to bring that in here. I totally forgot. Something I picked up off the TikTok shop. Um, they talk a lot about, AI generated artwork and things of that nature. And don't forget to like, share, and follow when you get here. That always helps us out on the channel. Florida man, welcome. And so the use of AI is becoming evident everywhere. And my Sooner Nation buddy just showed up, Mr. Roy, Joe, OU Sooner, Bradley, Twilight Lover Jr. just arrived. Good morning. You Sooner Schooner, you. Um, you're seeing it in movies now. You're seeing it in pretty much every clip that hits TikTok. Every filter has an AI generated. Adobe has AI generated helpers. Uh, Bing, Firefox, Google, all your search engines have AI generated bullshit. Um, and the big conventions and smaller conventions are kicking out AI artists on a regular basis now. I did see, one guy that apparently this booth had been kicked out of another show before, but apparently they were at another comic book convention selling AI generated artwork. Well, a few of the artists that are hand drawn artists that use their true talent instead of a keyboard to create artwork um, left little notes on their table that says say no to AI generated artwork. And I don't know how well that went over. I don't know if the booth got kicked out or what, but knowing that it had already been kicked out of a bigger show just weeks before, um, they shouldn't have been allowed at that show anyway to set up and all that good stuff. Um, but that's just one of the big topics of debate in the art world when it comes to writers, not just artists, like illustrators like myself, where I paint right there. That's one of my paintings right there. It's on my shirt. That, you've got these keyboard warriors, and not just for art, but keyboard warriors that think they know all, be all, end all whenever they get behind their keyboard and type out shit on people's posts just to start shit. Um, they think they are God's gift to the art world. And yes, air cheers. Here you go. I'll cheer you up. There you go. And I know everybody uses AI. I personally have pretty much every AI piece that I can turned off on my computers, on my phone, all that good stuff. I even get prompts. Do you want, AI to? No, I don't. Excuse me. I don't want AI to do shit for me. Okay. Because me being a true illustrator, a true painter, I will draw out my shit. Or in the inking stage of this piece, as a matter of fact. Heavy inks will be going in after I put the color down. So it's going to look completely different than this here in a little bit. Plus, I'm getting ready to start 3 new paintings in the Patrick Nagel style. If you don't know who Patrick Nagel is, go look him up. A lot of people would have thought he was AI generated back in the day, as smooth as his painting was when it came to the stuff that he did. His pencils were very, very loose and rudimentary, if you will, and just a very basic shape uh, came to play with most of his stuff. And the transfer process to canvas and all that good stuff in the 70s and 80s was phenomenal. A lot of the stuff he did too was in a small scale because he knew, like he said, that once it was posted in the book in Playboy, that um, it would be the size of a postage stamp, so it didn't have to be complete, exact, tight pencils or painting. So he just slopped some stuff on there sometimes on his stuff because he was working on a size that was like a postcard, a 3x5 postcard or post it, you know. And once it got on the magazine, it looked phenomenal. But he also worked in stuff bigger than my 16 by 20s canvas and stuff like that. So, but his stuff is just phenomenal. If you've never seen it, go check it out. Um, Again, this is works from the 70s and 80s. So much appreciated for that there, Roy. Thank you very much. That 7 cents will go back into the printing process outside of TikTok. It's funny. I see the total numbers that I get whenever I, do a live show or do their scaled up rewards and stuff like that. And it's just like you've got $2. Woohoo! Don't spend that all in one place. $2 can't even buy you a pack of gum anymore because you got to include taxes and all that stuff. All right, but it seems like every time we turn around, AI is being forced into our face. TikTok has a ton of AI features included in it. Facebook, a lot of the clips you're seeing out there, reels and stuff like that, nothing but AI bullshit. Um, Again, thanks for the gifts, my friend. Thank you for the gifts, my friend. Don't forget to like, share, and follow when you get here. Yes, we are talking about AI. Yes, we are talking about artwork. Yes, we are talking about horror movies, sci-fi movies, thriller movies. Um, some movies I can't even say. I've been watching a whole lot of movies on Tubi here lately, and a lot of them are old familiar favorites. So I don't even have to look at the screen to know what the fuck's going on. But then there's some new ones that I'm watching on there that catch my attention. Now, are these the greatest movies ever made? Absolutely not. But they're movies made from the heart of people that want to make movies. And there's a big difference with that than the companies that want to just bring in the money, if that makes sense. And they think it's going to be a huge hit because they put this star in it, they put this star in it. They spent, $20 million to on a budget, for this movie, and then you get Joe Blow over here making one in his backyard, and he spent maybe $4,000 on it, and it's a better movie than some of the ones that Hollywood produces, you know. And I can't say everybody's like that. Period, 100%. But you do get a lot of new up and coming filmmakers that blow the wheels off of a lot of your already established Hollywood filmmakers out there right now. Now, we're seeing more and more AI generated bullshit in the movies because they're even talking about using a AI generated Val Kilmer in some new movie uh, that's either in process, already filmed, and they're just adding him into it. Whatever they're doing. Dennis, welcome to the show. How are you doing today? Don't forget to like, share, and follow when you get here. We are talking about AI bullshit, and so much stuff is being pushed, and it's not. And again, it's just not in the illustration world as far as like comic. There's a lot of comic books that are now being made AI generated. I've got a buddy. Love the guy to death, but I don't know if I can actually work with him. He's one that I was trying to. He was trying to get a sponsorship with me, and he keeps telling me he's going to help me out and all this other stuff. But I just don't know because he is using AI generated artwork, and he's wanting to be a hybrid, if you will, for traditional artwork and AI artwork to meld hand in hand, and it's never going to happen. In his mind, it will, and everything that he does is now being AI geared, and it pains me to see where he started to where he is now, to how much of a proponent and a mouthpiece for AI that he is. But I go into all my other art groups and I get the same banter back and forth. You know, AI shouldn't be allowed. AI should be allowed. You know, so on and so forth. And it's just like, if you are a traditional artist and you pick up one of these, I'm trying to find another version. I know I've got more versions running around here somewhere. I'm just not seeing them. Other pencils and things like that. This is a mechanical pencil. I have the traditional pencils of, you know, put it in a pencil sharpener, sharpen it up, draw with it, write with it, whatever. Um, as opposed to grabbing a keyboard and your app and typing in, oh, I want this to happen. Da, 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 da. Even TikTok, and it's why I get restricted so fucking much on TikTok, is because they use AI to listen in to everybody's fucking conversations. So any keyword that's picked up in their no list, you get flagged for. You get a restriction, you get a violation, and you can get taken down from the platform right then and there. Just like whenever I griped out TikTok the other day, I used a derogatory word towards TikTok and they canceled my show that day. And my appeal was not approved, and that's why I couldn't come on until after the 3rd. Since my shows are on the even days now, I was back on the air on the 4th. But so much stuff is integrated. I mean, even your cars now are being integrated. And I'm also hearing that, you know, most of your car features you have to pay a subscription for. Why do I want to pay an extra subscription for something in my own car? And if you don't pay a subscription, certain things won't work. Like I heard one woman talking about there was a subscription for her heated and cooled seats, that if she didn't pay her subscription for those heated and cool seats, then that feature would not work in her car. That makes absolutely no sense. But everything is a money grab. Right now, we're in a money grab, okay? Because as I go through my show, I generate revenue, not just for me, but for TikTok. Now, my generative views are lower than some because I have clothes on. Let's just be real. I know right now, if I were to scroll TikTok and find some live shows, about 82.5% of those would be of a female, either in her bed, in the bathroom, or on a couch somewhere in her home with Casey. Welcome to the show. We're talking about AI bullshit, and now we're talking about revenue money grab. Where she had a tank top on, no bra, hard nipples, and she would be having, you know, 10,000 views right now on any of these, the ones that I'm talking about. And, you know, tons of comments coming in, people wanting to see things, obviously. And obviously, they probably have a site that you can go to and see what you want to see. I do too, but not that type of see. Because of my artwork, I do have one of those pages. And, but I haven't used it yet. I haven't completely set it up yet because how do I set up my tiers in OF to accommodate the artwork that I've got and present new artwork to people of that caliber? Because I can't even pick up one of my lewd, let's go that route, covers over here without getting a restriction over here because it's too realistic, even though everything is censored off with tape. I get a restriction. But yet again, you've got women sitting right now on lives showing pretty much every inch of their body and not getting a restriction. This is why I did a whole double standard with not just AI but with TikTok on one of my posts because they have such a huge double standard. Since I'm a small fry in their eyes, I don't generate the views. Give me just a second, guys. Something's happening outside. I can hear it. Give me a minute. Sorry about that. It was just my neighbors. I've never heard them be that loud before. It was setting the dogs off. All right, so they have a huge double standard when it comes to what they allow through. Because if it's generating, hold on, I'm going to read Dennis's comment real fast. I was just talking with somebody on here how some women pop up nude real quick in the middle of a story for no, absolutely. And like I've talked about before, you know, I know how I can generate views. You guys might not like it, and you guys might pay me to put my clothes back on. But I saw a creator. It was a dude, a buff dude, and he was selling something for the TikTok shop, um, probably some workout something or other. But he had a speedo on, which not much for the imagination down there because he's bulked up. Uh, a lot of steroids, most likely, because that shrinks other parts of the body. If you understand what I'm talking about. Um, and he's in a speedo talking about this product, and he shows the whole body shot from the head down. Well, he had like 37,000 views. I wonder why. You're in a speedo, you're bulked up, and you've got the female population and the other male population that likes that type of thing. So I'm like, okay, so I keep working on my physique in the gym, and I get my speedo out, and I wear it on the show, and I can generate views. Yeah, awesome. No, no. I barely wear my Naughty Nun shirt that has her tatas out with the X's taped over her nipples, you know? And I had to put a censored for TikTok on my Alice in Wonderland shirt. Okay. But yet you have these creators like Dennis just talked about as you're scrolling TikTok that, oh my God, here's a butthole. Oh my God, here's somebody having sex behind a blurred screen. You can hear clearly what's going on. You can see what's going on, even though it's blurred. And they have another camera at another angle so you can watch the whole scenario on, one of their other platforms. But yet they're getting your views and attention here first, which is generating tons of revenue for TikTok. So they allow that shit. because it's getting the views, it's getting the shares, it's getting the likes, and I don't know what you're talking about as being part of the problem, but whatever. Exactly. The double standard makes no sense. But again, it's drawing revenue in for TikTok 100%. And with that, that's why I just come on here, talk about horror movies, sci-fi movies, all the stuff that I do during the day, my generated artwork. And that's why we've been talking about AI so much as well. Because I'm in so many different groups on Facebook that AI is bantered back and forth inside the group because you've got those pro AI artists that want it and want to see it. And then you've got the others that aren't, that are completely against it and want to see it gone in the art field. And it's not just art, it's as far as illustration goes, it is music, writing. What else is out there? Fabrication, because whenever people do 3D printed stuff, the artwork has to be labeled as AI artwork. This was generated by AI whenever you pull the STL file. And so that way you have to sell it as AI artwork. And if the venue that you're at doesn't allow AI artwork, you could be at the risk of not showing up at that show, even though you paid for your booth and all that good stuff. So, like right here, we're sitting at close to 5,000 views, or not views, but 5,000 likes. And that puts us in the popular live category just because of the likes alone. Now, again, if I was the scantily clad female and getting, 10,000 views right now with tons of, you know, people commenting in my stream, then I'd be put into a different category on the live platform itself as well. Because TikTok rewards you for stupidity. Okay. But people know how to work the system. And again, don't forget to like, share, and follow. That's part of the whole. That's how you can help a creator out the most. Is whenever you pop onto their live show or whatever, a Facebook post, a post that they have on TikTok or YouTube or whatever. When you like, share, follow, and comment on those things, that helps a creator out because you've just now interacted with that whole scenario. When you share it out and you comment, now your friends, especially your close friends, can go and check out what you commented on, what you checked out. Just like the person that was on here saying that I'm part of the problem because I'm keeping my clothes on. Okay. Um, and I'm talking about real shit. Okay. I'm part of the problem. Let me give you 2 thumbs up on that. Siskel and Ebert right here. 2 thumbs up approved. I will be part of the problem when it comes to talking about real shit. Because too many people talk about bullshit, okay, on a regular basis. So I'd rather talk about real shit than bullshit. Got it? Um, and so I was reading earlier before I jumped on here. Don't forget to like, share, and follow as you get here. Um, I was reading up on some art groups before I came up in here on my live show, and because I've been up since probably a little before 3 o'clock this morning, and it is 4:30 now. Um, that so many people want AI to disappear. It's never going to disappear. Let's just throw it out there. It's never going to disappear because so many people are using it for everything now. You've got commercials for all the Chat GPT stuff. You've got all the AI stuff that supposedly helps you out when it comes to your everyday scheduling. I mean, hell, even my Google shit, Google Chrome wants you to use AI. It wants you to use a AI generated whatever for your emails to send out to people, blah blah blah. I don't do that. If I can turn AI off of my stuff, I turn it off. Again, why I don't use the new Adobe products. I still use the old CS4. And if you know what era that was, congratulations, you're old. Um, it does not have the AI capabilities as the new stuff does that's stored on the cloud, as they call it. You have to get a subscription, which we were talking about subscriptions a minute ago, for your Adobe products. Why do I want to pay a monthly subscription to something I used to be able to own? Whenever you bought the disc, that became yours. You had a specific serial number to put in, a product code to put in, all that stuff to show that you bought this. And that's why, for the longest time, you could get a code generator to put in there and it would bypass their system, blah, blah, blah. So there was ways around it if you really wanted to. So yes, you were pirating their software. And so they got smart and locked it up, you know. Um, and so now you've got to pay a subscription to use their product per month, just like a lot of apps on your phone. A lot of your apps now have subscriptions, and if you don't pay for the app, then you don't get the full use of the app. And I'm surprised it hasn't come down to that with Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever other social media platform that you use. And I know you can pay a subscription to get the blue check mark and all that bullshit, but I don't do that either because I don't want to. Why do I want to spend $50 a month on a blue check mark? Makes no sense to me. Yeah, it unlocks certain things for you in Facebook, in Instagram, in TikTok, and blah blah blah. But why? Why do you want to spend another? Why do you want to spend $50 a month? Period, on an app. Like if you use OF, if you use anything else out there that generates you revenue, eBay, Macari, things like that, it's already charging you money whenever you sell a product. All those apps sell a product. All those apps use AI. Again, AI is never going to go away. The music industry is trying to fight it. The movie industry is trying to fight it. The art industry is trying to fight it. And that's art in general, not just illustration, painting, and all that stuff. But like I've talked about, AI is cool when it can detect cancer. AI is cool when it can detect a disease in the body before it happens or at its beginning stages because, oh, we just caught this because of what AI just pulled out of your system. But when it comes to us artists that want to keep our clothes on, we have to fight all the AI generated bullshit. Like I said, I heard a song. It sounded decent, but I knew something was off. So I went to their website, and it was here on TikTok that I heard the song. And I went to Apple Music, pulled them up as the artist, and see that they had 4 albums, full length albums, done up in 3 months, all 2026. It was like, that's impossible. It takes a minimum of a year and a half for somebody to get their album out most of the time. But here you got 4 albums out in 3 months. 3 months. So I start reading. Oh, AI generated band, AI generated musicians. Good. One that I don't have to listen to. Peace out. Bye. And like I said, my girlfriend, she listens to a lot of the AI generated stuff, and it's a lot of the older stuff put to new AI generated rhythms. Can you say painful? I'd rather have bamboo shoots shoved up under my fingernails than listen to some of the shit that's being produced by AI musicians. And a lot of my friends in the generation that we're at, yo, buddy, all this AI stuff reminds me of Will Smith's movie I Robot. Absolutely. I mean, AI generation has been talked about for a long time. Let's just get real. Let's take some Isaac Asimov stuff. I Robot from back in the day, and um, it's just taking over. They have got robots, hence the I Robot right there, that are becoming very realistic, that are starting to glean a conscience, if you will. And then AI generated works that don't realize that they're AI generated. That's the scary part. I mean, we're getting StarNet started. James Cameron warned us about this. But do we as a human race listen? Fuck no. If I can make out with a robot, let's make out with a robot. Oh wait, they're already doing that. Oh, guys are stupid sometimes. Let's just be real. If I can stick a triangle in a round hole, I'm good. You know, kind of like those kids you see with the little hammer trying to pound in a star shape into a circle. Well, if I can get it in there, it'll work. Girls aren't any better sometimes because we're part of the choices they make. So we all have our issues, and mine is just a excuse me, mine is just AI generated shit. Again, you see it running rampant out there. Every reel that you see, every video you have to question now, especially when there is a cryptid of some sort, anything in the sky. Just like I saw an AI generated image of a something floating across the surface of the moon, kicking up a dust cloud behind it. Well, if the moon has no gravity, how is there a dust cloud being kicked up? Those type of scenarios. Just like the whole, did we go to the moon back in the 60s? Did we plant that flag on the moon? Because if we did, why was there dust clouds? Why was there motion to the flag? Why was there three different light sources? Why was there is that poor cameraman still stuck on the moon because he filmed the whole thing being taken off or taking off from the surface of the moon, and how did he get back to the ship? You know, the lunar module. I mean, there's so much that we have to question in life already, that why do we need to question our artwork? Why do we need to question our music choices that we listen to? Hopefully, the stuff you listen to is not AI generated. Casey out here, phenomenal talent when it comes to. Yes, I know, I know, and I hate it. I've told you this. I've told you I hate it 100% millions of times. But Casey's phenomenal artist when it comes to music. Hopefully, he gets his CD dropped soon on Spotify. Looking forward to that when he does. I will be listening to it out there. He sent me some clips before, and it's very good stuff. He's very talented. The guy, has trained with Elvis. So, you know, I know you thought it was cool because you can do a ton of stuff with AI, and it's just like Mr. Nice Guy. I know you're here. I don't think you're here right now, but you send me so much AI generated bullshit in messages. It pains me. Every fucking clip that he sends me is AI generated, you know. And it's just like, dude, give it a rest. I'll watch a clip or two here, but then I just look at the opening clip and it's like AI, 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 AI. It's like, good God, come on. And there's some funny ones. Let's just be real. There's funny AI shit out there, but it just gets old after a while. They all look the same. They all have the same feel. They all have the same heartlessness to them, and it's just like it needs to get rested. It needs to just disappear, 100%. But again, I know, and my case in point just got brought across my screen, that someone just got a live goal of some sort up there. But yet, what it showed me as it flashed this little red, us live creators get to see what other creators are doing because we get these little notifications across the top of our screen, like a teletype thing that you see breaking news, blah blah blah. Well, this person just had a something happen, and you see a drawn set of tatas. Um, so we know why they're getting the views and they're getting their galaxies, you know, has lit up all gifts in their gift gallery. So that's what just happened. And but there was a set of drawn tatas, you know, with the areolas and all that stuff on there. And it's just like, okay, my point was just made with that one little teleprompter breaking news going across my screen. It just proved my point of what I was talking about earlier. And then that one dude that said that I was part of the problem. Right now, you can read between the lines for the guy that said I was the problem. This is Roy's favorite emoji if you read between the lines. Okay. Um, he's gotten blocked and restricted on a lot of shows or a lot of platforms because of reading between the lines, if you will. We were up to close to 17,000 likes, which is awesome for us being on for 40 minutes. And yeah, but AI is running too rampant, too fast. Again, you've got the whole debate of why some people don't like AI, and it has nothing to do with the artistic side of it. It has to do with the resources that it uses from the earth. All right, because of their companies, that all the resources that have to go into, and I'm trying to get my words right with it, the factories that they use take so much energy to pump out AI generated work that they say by, the time I'm dead, that the Earth's resources will be depleted because of AI factories. Well, they've said this for years, that the whole Earth's resources will be depleted by now. Let's just be real. Back in the 70s, whenever they started doing all of their strip mining and you know coal mining and everything else that they mine from the earth, they said by this time this year that all of our resources would be gone. Yet we're finding new resources on a regular basis. Make it make sense. Make any of it make sense. I mean, please. If you can make it make sense, I'll listen to your argument. And as Roy said for you, Casey, I've heard some of Casey's music as well, which I fully enjoyed. So there you go. He's very talented. Casey is very talented. Now Roy is very talented as well. He's got his Miracle Whip music going on over there. And if you know, you know. It's kind of disgusting, kind of disturbing. Ah, giving you a hard time, Roy. Giving you a hard time. But no, AI is just running way too rampant out there in the world, and too many people are embracing it. And so this is why it's never going to go away. Um, because way too many people are have the love of AI, have the AI. It's kind of like gold fever. They've got AI fever. Oh, it can do this for me. Let's see what it can do next. And that's why you've got so many fake profiles on TikTok out there if you really pay attention. And I'm about to show you one that are complete AI generated people. But yet they get 30,000 followers. Oh, and speaking of followers, I broke the 5,000 mark, which is awesome. We're on the way to 10,000, which is phenomenal. And I know that a lot of the accounts that hit me up are fake accounts. It's just like on my Instagram. I've in the past 2 weeks, I've probably gained 120 followers, if I had to guess, and most of those are brand new accounts that are fake accounts. Do I follow them back? Fucking absolutely not. And yes, remember Y2K was supposed to be bad for us. Y2K was supposed to shut down every computer, lock it up, send it back to the 1800s, which computers didn't exist then. So it was going to kill every computer on the planet, and absolutely nothing happened. Some clocks got reset or something like that um, on the computers. It didn't destroy the computers. It didn't shut the computers down. It didn't put anything into landlock. It didn't close down the United States or any other part of the world. Y2K was the biggest waste of a hoax in my entire life. Um, Next to all the conspiracy theories that still float around about things that have happened throughout history. All right, so this AI generated female has probably close to 150,000 followers, maybe more than that. Could be closer to 1 million followers if I had to guess. And I want you that is watching right now to go to your mirror and try this pose and see if it works for you. Okay? And let me know how it works. Yes, it was supposed to be the end of the world. Yes. We've had the supposedly end of the world since the Jonestown massacre. So, so go to your mirror. You're going to stand with your back to the mirror. And then you're going to put hold on, your right arm to the mirror. That's this arm, for those of you in question. Again, back to the mirror. And you're going to not pull your equipment off the table. You're going to put your hand just like such. And tell me how it works out for you. Okay? Because if your arm can do this, you need to be in a freak show somewhere. Literally, 100%. See this arm? Pinky should be towards the sky, not towards the butt. Completely AI generated female that close to 1 million people follow because, oh, she's hot. See, even Roy is like, wow, I'm going to go follow her now. Pinky should be towards the sky because you cannot rotate your arm the correct way on the back of your head for it to be, that would be this arm. That would be the left arm right there. They've basically taken the arm, flipped it around, and stuck it in this picture for AI generated artwork. But again, she has close to 1 million followers. She has videos out there. Not those type of videos, Roy. Calm down. She's got tons of images out there that are all AI generated, but people believe this is real. Now, it could be based off of a real female out there that someone's infatuated with. But for this to happen, this whole thing right here to happen, whoop, negative, Ghost Rider, negative. Because that does not happen. You cannot get your arm to do that unless you're a contortionist. Absolutely 100%. That cannot happen. But if you can do it, I want a picture of you doing it in your mirror right now. Send it to my DMs, and I'm going to get you on Dr. Phil or some freak show channel out there. Maybe even American Horror Story. I mean, freak show's already been done, but, you know, those type things. But if you can do this, please, I want to see it. But that's how society views people on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, whatever other social media you're on, as okay. Because she's a scantily clad female. They have guy accounts too. So I'm not just picking on the females. But, Roy, not everybody uses common sense. As men, we think with a different head than this one. Females do too. And it just saddens me that society has been reduced to this. That this gets close to 1 million followers. And I've been on this platform since 2022, and I've just now hit 5,000 followers. That's a huge milestone for some people to even get 300 followers. And I just hit 5,000, and it's been 4 years since I've been on this platform as an artist. It's kind of sad. But yet, an AI generated female can get 1 million followers. A AI generated musician female can get 3 million followers, and she doesn't even know she's fake. That just says a lot about society and what they really want. I mean, I even get people on TikTok that I follow that have to do disclaimers that are like, and it's females, unfortunately. They're like, I don't know why I have to make this disclaimer, but I do. And they start out with, number 1, I do not sell my underwear, so quit asking. Number 2, I will not go on a date with you, so quit asking. Number 3, I don't want to see any part of your body, period. You know, and it's sad that we have to put out disclaimers like that, because you've got a society that thinks it's normal and okay to do that type of thing, to ask those questions, or just to send unsolicited pictures, period. I remember back in the day when you used to write it down on a piece of paper. Do you like me? Across the top, a check mark. Put a check mark near the in the box, yes or no. And then you would hand it to a female and go about your day. Well, hopefully you get that message back, or that, yeah, the message as the text message of the day, which was a piece of paper folded up, and you knew that her friends were going to see this message. And you would either be thrilled to get the message back, or you'd be heartbroken and distraught because I didn't get the message back. And then, or you did get the message back and it says, "Do you like me?" Fill in the blank, and they put, "No, I don't like you." Okay, cool. Go on about your day. I'm heartbroken. I'm distraught now. Now I have depression, anxiety, and all this other good stuff. Which back in the day we didn't know what all that shit was, because our our oh, you look like you're down. Go outside and play. Go outside and ride your bike. Go outside and disappear until dinner time. We didn't have this, "Oh, let's go play video games until 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, let's go do this until, let's go do stupid TikTok videos that." Oh, yeah, absolutely. Here's your goalpost. And hopefully you don't get stuck in the eye because your buddy flicks it too hard. Absolutely. I've still got some of the ones that they started making in the late 80s, or, well, it was early 90s, but there was foam footballs that you could get instead of making and folding your own. And I still had some of those. I might still have one floating around here somewhere. But we didn't. Well, we did stupid stuff, okay, but it just wasn't filmed. We don't have the proof to show you guys that we started a lot of the trends that you guys are trying to make famous now, except for, and I wish you guys would have kept eating the Tide Pods, because that would have solved a lot of problems of today's society. And the whole milk crate climbing stuff, that was not courageous. That was idiotic, is what that was. Just like the Tide Pods, it sent so many people to hospitals and to an early undertaker appointment. And I'm not talking about WWE shit. It's just like some of these trends should have just continued. Absolutely, 100%. And if that sounds cruel of me, I don't give a shit. If you're that special to want to jump on that trend, then nature should have taken its course. I don't care if you find me cruel or heartless with it. I've lived through my trauma, okay? And you want to know my trauma? Here we go. 2008. Well, let's start with my grandmother in 2006. Died of natural causes, old age, all that good stuff. So it's 2006, technically. Well, let's go back to the 80s when my dad died, okay? That's where it started. Plus other traumas that happened in there, abuse in the home and all that good stuff. So then 2006 rolls around, grandmother dies. 2008, so a couple of years later, my sister gets killed by a drunk driver. Okay? 2009, my son dies in an ATV accident. 2010, my grandfather, father figure, dies. There's 3 years of trauma all rolled into one because they were all less than a year apart. So I can say the fuck that I say on here because I've lived through my trauma. And I learned to cope with certain things and move forward in life. But some people get stuck in their bullshit. And like, I can't believe you're saying stuff about, we shouldn't have. Why do you want that to continue on with Tide Pods and the milk crates and all this? Because if you're that special and you follow a stupid trend off of an app, a social media app that tells you this is a good idea, then fucking keep doing it. Okay? And for the parents that have to live through all of that bullshit because your kid was special enough to take a Tide Pod, knowing full well that it says do not eat on the package, and they eat it like cereal or whatever else, that's their special consequences. And I'm sorry that if it happened to your child and they're fucked up for life now, I'm sorry. But there's warning signs for a reason. There's warning labels on everything for a fucking reason. It's just like I'm sure on one of these cans somewhere it says do not stick in any orifice. Because why? Some special case tried to stick this in an orifice somewhere. It's just like the hand dryers that have to tell you not to stick your wiener in there to dry it off. Because some idiot tried it. And this is the society that we want to follow. And this is the society that gets millions of views. And I get my 300. Okay. I'll stick to my 300. Thank you. Thank you very much. Um, but if we can talk common sense into you guys before you do something stupid off the TikTok side of things, I'll be happy with that. Just like on my other recording side over here, I've got the text or call 988, then the phone number of 1-800-273-8255, which is a prevention hotline if you're having issues like Tide Pod eating or any other chemical eating. No, I'll start wearing Speedos. I don't give a shit. Um, if you are having trouble on that side and you don't want to be above dirt anymore, you can text me right here. You can send me a DM, or you can call that number 988, or text that number 988, or call the hotline 1-800-273-8255. Because one a day is too many that don't want to be here anymore. But when it's 30 a day, 50 a day that don't want to be here anymore, there's an issue. Like I said, when we were kids, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, even early 90s, we didn't know what all of the depression was, what all the ADHD was, what all of the, depression and this and that were, because we weren't diagnosed with that shit back then. We were diagnosed with get your fucking ass outside and get out of the house while we watch TV, drink our beer, smoke our cigarettes, whatever. We don't want you around. Now that's certain parents. Other parents out there had their kids with them 24/7, blah blah blah. And those are still the thumbsuckers of today. Okay? I wanted to be out of the house. So it was luckily that we lived in my grandparents' house, and our house had the main house, which I did have a bedroom in at the time. And then we had what was the beauty salon that my grandmother had. Well, my brother turned that into a bedroom. Then my sister got it after she moved from inside the house to that room. And then I got it. I think it was 10th or 11th grade whenever I got it. And so I had a whole cool building to myself. Decorated it how I wanted to. Don't blacklight that room. Trust me. Because I was a teenage kid. A teenage boy at the time. Let's go that route. And yeah, but I was out of the house as soon as I could, if that makes sense. Independence. I had a refrigerator in my bedroom. It wasn't like a full refrigerator. It was a small mini fridge. But I could put my food in there, not have to go inside the house to get stuff out of the main fridge unless I was out. And then, yes, another air cheers right there. Steady energy right there. V8 energy drink, you need to be my sponsor. I will take your sponsorship of V8 energy drinks, peach mango only, because the rest of your stuff tastes like shit. Chemical shit. Um, and then, yes, I had to live under my parents' house in my bedroom. It turned into a small house because I had a girlfriend that I got pregnant, and we did the right thing. We ended up getting married, having children, blah, blah, blah. That marriage didn't last almost 19 years and then gone because she wanted a divorce. And then she was remarried or re-engaged before the divorce papers were even on the table. So make that make sense. And but as soon as I could break away from my parents' rule, I was happy to be. But you've got so many people that want to live under mommy and daddy's paycheck, doing this little number. Okay, parents. Okay, parents. It makes no sense to me. My generation is of a generation where if you could break away from your parents at an earlier age, by all means, go for it. Make it happen. Today's generation is, oh, I got mommy and daddy's coattail. Oh, oh, thank you, mommy. Yeah, give me some more. Thank you, daddy. Give me some more. That makes no sense. And then you've got the people that want to be called mommy and daddy and all that bullshit. That's disturbing in and of itself. And don't get me started on all the dark romance books out there. Yes, my girlfriend reads those, and I know a lot of other women do too. I know a lot of guys that do too because I'm now seeing male creators that are reading the dark romance, uh, not reading them, but selling them on the TikTok area. The blind date books, the dark romance date boxes, or whatever the fuck they're called. Y'all society doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't, and I'm glad I'm not part of it. Let's just be real. I'm glad I'm not part of it. Yes, I see it. Yes, I follow some of you that are have some serious issues. Let's just put it that way. And you guys are going to need a lot of therapy when it comes to it. I mean, I'm in therapy myself due to my military background and things of that nature. My PTSD from the things I saw when we were overseas with the army, and those can fuck anybody up. But then I get some of you have lived through some serious trauma from your own parents, from your own hands as well. That I get, you know. But then there's other sectors of this generation of today that make absolutely no sense whatsoever. And that's the part I'm talking about. And it's like, how did you guys survive this long? Just to be honest. I mean, I'm I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh at this stuff, but just knowing what some of us grew up in, the traumas that we had growing up. Just want to add one thing. Roy likes peanut butter on his. Well, we can't say that here. We can't say your bacon stick. We can't say your bacon stick. I don't care if you put peanut butter on your bacon stick. And thank you. That's one of my pieces of artwork, which is sitting behind me right here. One of my paintings. And that's another one of my paintings right there. I appreciate it. I have tons of products available, but I'm not going to talk about that because I will get a restriction. But if you'd like to check them out, you can hit me up in DM. And Roy, we can't be talking about your bacon stick here on the show, please. Um, and I don't care what you do to the peanut butter in your own home. That's on you. All right. Um, so, but Red, I appreciate you talking about the shirt. It is. I don't wear normal shirts anymore. I wear my own product on a regular basis. So if you catch any of my lives, and I see you've been a long time follower, um, if you catch any of my lives or look at any of my posts, you're going to see me in one of my shirts. Just like the last live, whenever I was back from a restriction, because I cussed TikTok out on that one. I had to put a censor strip across my Alice in Wonderland shirt that said "censored for TikTok" on it, and I did rip it off at the end of the show, thanks to Roy and his peanut butter jar, talking about I should take the tape off at the end of the show, and I did. So you got to see what the whole shirt looked like without the tape across it. But I appreciate you, shouting out the shirt. Check out the rest of the artwork on the page. Um, and there you go. I'm not going to go any more in depth into that just because whenever I do start talking about the artwork and things like that, I tend to get a restriction. Just like if I were to pull up one of my lewd covers over here, um, I would get a violation for their nudity clause, but yet you can find a butthole pretty easy out here on TikTok right now if you were to pull up a live show of certain creators out there. So, we talked about the double standards. We talked about AI running rampant. We've talked about certain generations should not have even made it, um, and all of that good stuff. So, it's been a good show. We've been on for about close to an hour and 20 minutes already. Roy is apparently going to go take care of his peanut butter fetish, um, because he's wishing everybody an awesome day. Uh, he 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 fluctuates between Miracle Whip and peanut butter, so you can give him a hard time about that. Um, while he watches Twilight. Oh, I need a Brillo pad for that one, Casey. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, oh. Alrighty, everybody. I do have some T-shirts that are coming in, and some new stuff happening. I know I fucked up some shirts that are coming in, so I've got to redo those, which is never a fun thing. I forgot to put the logo on them. This little logo of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, right there. And yeah, I forgot to put that logo on them. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that at this particular juncture because they're already almost here. They'll probably be here today or in the next couple days. So yeah, that was on me. I fucked that up. So, but anyway, we are going to kill it for today. I do appreciate each and everybody being here. Do not eat Tide Pods or walk on milk crates. Do not follow any TikTok trend that pops up because we want you here. And use your common sense whenever you see these TikTok ventures and things like that. Oh, we got to try this. I've got to put my arm in the belly of an alligator. Again, if you're that smart, by all means, go make it happen. Go kiss a shark. Could be the new Katy Perry song. I kissed a shark and I liked it. I'm now in his poop stick. So there you go. Just be mindful of what you want to follow, especially here on TikTok, because not everything is the smartest choice. And you should know that. Common sense. Make common sense a thing again. And I hate that I even have to say that. Say no to AI generated artwork. Buy artwork from a real artist. You know, someone that still picks up a pencil, an eraser, pens, paintbrushes. Yes, all these are paintbrushes. All that good stuff. Yes, that was super loud, and I apologize. But anyway, I am killing it for today. You all have a great day. And as we say as we leave you guys, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.